while we get to playing here. I'm going to go ahead and take Kurfurst into asymmetric battles. Cthulhu. I mean, bold words, sir. Not that I necessarily disagree with you, right? Bold words. I'm just pointing out that, again, what we all consider classic rock, again, it's going to... I'm 40... What year is it? I'm 45, right? So to me, classic rock, my father-in-law have a similar view of it. I look at that 60s and 70s, not like Elvis, Beatles, but like the generation kind of that came after them, right? I talked about Skynyrd, right? I think Skynyrd would definitely be classic rock, for an example. I love, like, that's to me is the right mindset. There's Gabe. Gabe made it in his Schroeder. All right. I have a Marseille. Only 9 battleships on the opposing team this time, ladies and gentlemen. Only now it's a domination game. So now it's going to be a little tough. Metallica and GNR. See, yeah, right. And to me, Metallica and GNR are not classic rock. They're not. Because Metallica was hugely popular throughout the entire time I was in middle school and high school. And even into college, if I'm honest, right? Of course, Metallica got a little less popular when I was in college because of their stance on Napster.
Love, exciting and new. Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me. Staying alive, staying alive. Yeah.
So, when I was in college, of course, the downloadable music industry was in its infancy and was a fledgling thing. And Metallica had a very hard stance on downloaded music. To them, it was all piracy, right? So if you downloaded their music, you were a pirate, and they were just like James Hetman was super. There's even an old video like mocking him. It was an old Flash cartoon mocking James Hetman's stance on Napster bad. Exactly, Castle. Exactly. If you guys are too young, you might not have seen it, but go Google Napster bad and see if you can find it on YouTube, or the old Flash animation might still be around somewhere. But it is a thing. Gabe, I'm going to get flipped around here. I'm going to use this island off my starboard bow to get turned around, and I'm going to kite away and let these guys drive into my secondaries. No, Chaser, I get it. My point was simply that Metallica, of all the artists in that era, Metallica came out the hardest against it. Most of them, like when you directly asked them, they were like, oh yeah, we really wish people wouldn't do that, right? But they were just like, no, and they actively went after people. You know, it was a, you know, in that era, if you think back to some of the bands that were still finding their legs, you know, the Nirvanas, to use an example of the world, right? The downloadable music business was actually a huge boon for them. Yes, it cost them money, unquestionably, but it also got them notoriety and exposure that they might not have otherwise had, right? And so it was, for some of them, it was actually a huge win.
Desert road.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get punished for that turn. I was kind of hoping it would be a little less than that. Oh, 100% Black Duke. No, it was 100% illegal. That was never the question. That was never up for debate.
Looks like you're coming apart.
All right, we put the destroyer down. That feels pretty good. Unfortunately, we're going to surrender B and automatically start off down points. That feels very, very bad. I'm probably going to have to go deal with whatever's in B. It's going to be a Monarch, a Ritchie, and possibly the Martel. I think my secondaries are going to finish this guy off. Yeah, he's super dead. Now, North Carolina is... I'm not going to be able to get shots on him. Move forward. I guess I'm going to go full speed over here to B and hope for the best. They're beating up the bots at A pretty good, which I love. I'll do what I can, Gabe, but I kind of put myself in a bad position here relative to those guys in the cap. That's on That's my fault. I may be able to get a good shot here at the North Carolina as he tries to pull back. Castle, have you started the second giveaway yet? I don't know if you had. No, get on this NorCal. There we go. Solid. Love it. Was about to. Okay, so there's your answer, Xander. Oh, don't hurt me, NorCal. Don't hurt me, NorCal. Don't hurt me. This is gonna hurt. Oh, good. My armor held up. That's nice. Oh, I gotta back off. I am too close to these clowns. Oh, really? What is the Caracciolo doing in this gap? Bold move, sir. Oh, I beat the hell out of the Caracciolo. That feels good. Let's get a heal off here. There's the Martel. Let's see if I can get my stern turrets around on that guy. Kurfurst's gun angles are definitely one of the things that work against her. Like, 100%. I won't say it's a problem, but it's definitely not a good thing. No, I'm not taking that shot. Wasting my time. However, I am melting this Richelieu. Oh, he turned the other way. Well, I think I crossed the threshold for Lutjens, right? Isn't the threshold for Lutjens like 250 secondary hits? What is it again? It's a lot. I remember that. Actually, no. Get on the Monarch. $100? It's only 100? Jesus, no wonder I'm crushing these guys. All right, we are doing very well. We have killed almost everything and haven't coughed up a ship yet, which feels good. I have coughed up some citadels though, which feels bad, but oh well. That's my own stupid fault. Okay, let's get this heal off. All right, we got some more winners in the chat. Guys, remember, if you see your name in the chat there, if Muldoon has picked your name, you need to whisper Castle to claim your loot. If we don't hear from you in a reasonable amount of time, and that's in our sole opinion, we're going to give your loot to somebody else. Don't let that happen. Don't be that guy.
Welcome to Jurassic.
Yes, Adeldro. Yes, Adeldro. Cryo, thank you for the follow. Asymmetric mode is basically co-op, but they have more ships, you have higher tier ships, and then supposedly I have heard people say, I have not read the patch notes, so don't quote me on this, but I've heard people say that the bots are supposed to have, like, increased intelligence or capability or something. Something like this. I have heard this. I have heard it said. I've heard it said. A build for Zeton? Now we can look at that. I like Zeton. I used to play Zeton in ranked. Look at that dispersion. That is not German dispersion, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? What is that? I see now why Kurfurst is so popular in this mode, right? Because it really rewards you for spending points on the secondaries. Yeah. You get a lot of value out of those secondary points, right? I mean, I have nearly 400 secondary hits, and if I look, I've probably got a cool 35 or 40,000 points of fire damage as well. Let's have a check. So I've got 20,000 points of fire damage, but 90,000 direct full penetration damage out of my secondary battery. This is amazing. That's more than a third of my damage just out of the secondaries. That's lovely. I can see why people like this boat in this mode, right? I can get it. I get it. I understand Happa's recommendation now, especially with Lutjens. Let's go look at him real fast. I want to make sure I refresh my memory on how he works. Because his ability is, once you get 100 secondary hits, your secondary reload time goes down by 15%. That's crazy. Now, and I even think that I took, yes, I took auxiliary armaments 2 in slot 6 on Kurfurst. So even all in, you get a 35% bonus to secondary reload once you get 100. That's amazing. That is amazing. I love that.